Trophies, trophies, trophies. So I wanted to share something with you today that is kind of close to my heart because I am an Arsenal fan and I grew up winning things, and apparently that makes me entitled. So we can talk about entitlement in a sec. But first of all, I was going to say tweet, it's not a tweet, it's from Facebook. Usually it's a tweet with me, but this time it's from Facebook. It's a little comment. Let's have a look at this little comment from someone, yeah? Let me just make myself big, pause. So, my original comment, as you can read here, we still won actual trophies under Wash Wenger. I'd rather be challenging, and this is a hypothetical scenario, obviously. So, if you have two different scenarios, I'd rather be winning FA Cups every year and not challenging for a title than challenging for a title and always finishing second with no trophies. The reason being, life is about making memories. And my best memories of recent Arsenal history are still from the Wenger days. They are still from those three FA Cup wins in the last 6 years of the Wenger days. Because trophies, winning, the days out, the weekends, having your mates down, whether you're going to the game, whether you've got a trip to Wembley, whether you've got a trip to Finsbury Park with your mates, early, in the pub, 11 a.m., getting good seats, drinking all day, the pub fills up, you're meeting people, you're partying, you win the cup, you're having a street party. Fantastic memories that will live with you forever. What memories do we have from Arteta's 6-year reign? Second, second, second. This is why people have to hold on to things like the Declan Rice free kick. Okay, yes, Arteta came in and he won an FA Cup. And we're going to get to that in a second. But, and this isn't Arteta's fault, it was COVID times. There wasn't anyone in the stadium. We weren't allowed out to celebrate it. It was all very muted. But subsequent to that, what has happened other than vast expenditure of money and vast mismanagement of a squad? Point being with this is the reply. So here's the reply from someone called Danny Murphy. Trophies, trophies, trophies. As if this is such a horrendous thing to want. As if the aim of elite sport is not to win trophies. It's just to kind of have a jolly up. Win, lose, we're all on the booze. That kind of idea. Turns out this isn't true if you support Arsenal Football Club. And this goes back to what I've been saying for so long about how our own fans are disrespecting this football club. To mock a fellow Arsenal fan for wanting to win, nay, demanding to win trophies is absolutely disgraceful and should not be entertained and should be pushed back on, because these people need to know the disrespect that they are purporting. So he says, trophies, 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 3 times. Please try and understand football. It's not instant coffee. Well, how come he come in and won an FA Cup instantly then? How come your manager come in and won an FA Cup instantly and then subsequently didn't win anything? Please try and understand football. Again, we see this part of our fan base lives in an irony-free zone. Because if you do understand football and you do understand what Arsenal Football Club is about, and you respect what Arsenal Football Club is about, then you understand that winning trophies should be part of our DNA. We are the 3rd most decorated English club. It is a proud record and it is under threat from Man City. They are two fucking trophies away from us. They could do it this season. If they win 2 more trophies and we don't win any, they will overtake us as the 3rd most decorated club in England. That's an absolute disgrace. And to quote my friend Shane, that will be Arteta's legacy. Putting us down into 4th after decades of being the 3rd most decorated team in this country. Something I have been proud of, something I have been crowing about in debates and chats for years. Since I was a teenager, which was a very long time ago, 10 or 12 years ago. So it's you, Danny, who needs to understand football. You need to understand that any sport at the elite level is about winning things. And if you ask the players, this is the thing that gets me as well. If you go into that dressing room and you ask Arteta, you ask any one of the players what football is about, they will say, and especially what playing for Arsenal is about, they will say winning silverware. But Danny disagrees. And thousands, if not millions, and I'm not joking, when you look at it worldwide, if not millions of these Arteta cultists think the same way as this guy. Let's get him off the screen. We are infested with fans who are saying these things now. Go back 20 years and say that to people in the 12 Pins pub, in the Gunners, wherever, around Finsbury Park, or wherever you are. And you'd be lucky to leave that pub walking. If you deride the desire to win trophies as an Arsenal fan, the importance, if you play down the importance of winning trophies, and yes, I know we've gone patches in our history, long patches of not winning trophies. But we're not talking about history. We're talking about now. We're talking about what has been built up to this point from, let's say, the Graham times. Graham, little sort of gap, then Wenger, then, Graham trophies, little gap, then Wenger trophies. And then, of course, Wenger should have left. But even then, he was still winning the odd FA Cup here and there. Unfortunately, when you look at it over a 20-year span, this team has had 84 trophies available to win. And I believe it has only won 4. Let me just double check that. I'm going to double check that. I don't want to misspeak, but I do believe we did a little deep dive into this with Grok. Let me just have a look here. I just want to double check it because I think it's 4. So I asked Grok, since August 2006, how many trophies have been available to Arsenal to win? Depending on what competitions they've qualified for. 84 trophies have been available to Arsenal since August 2006. So if we take away the community shields, so we make it 79. So minus the community shields, there's 79 trophies we have had available to win in the last 20 years. We have won 4 FA Cups. 3 of those came in Wenger's last 6 years. That is, roughly speaking, a 4%. Yes, it's roughly 4%. A 4% win record in the last 20 years. Since we moved to the Emirates, essentially, we've had a 4% trophy winning record. That's Arsenal Football Club. And now we stand on the precipice of Man City overtaking us as the 3rd most decorated club in the country. So trophies, trophies, trophies. It's ironic that you say it 3 times and you say it multiply, because we are not winning multiple trophies. We are not being showered with trophies. And look, I understand this competition. I understand that Man City have been super strong. Liverpool have been strong under Klopp. We've had our tussles with Man United. Chelsea have had their purple patch with Abramovich inside that 20-year span. But you cannot tell me there haven't been more opportunities to keep Man City at bay. Birmingham in the cup final. City in multiple cup finals. The Europa League final. Terrible performance against Chelsea. Leicester City winning the title. I'm not saying that over the last 20 years we should have won 20 trophies, 15 trophies, but we should have had enough so that we are not sitting here in 2026 with Man City breathing down our necks. Two trophies behind our decades old. In fact, it might even be I don't think it's quite a century. I would need to check how old it is, but it is decades old that we are being the third most decorated team. And there's no shame in being third. As much as we talk about first, there's no shame in being third in this regard because we're up against two juggernauts in Man United and Liverpool. But we are not up against a historical juggernaut in City. They are only recent. 20 years ago, City were a nothing team. No disrespect. They were getting beaten 8-0 by Middlesbrough. And yet we have allowed, yes, allowed, people don't like that word either. Yes, we have allowed, and other teams as well, but we are talking about Arsenal here. We have allowed Man City over 20 years to catch up our proud record, and they stand on the precipice of kicking us out of third spot. So trophies. Yeah, we need some. It's important. If you are an Arsenal supporter, if you're a true fan, which you accuse me of not being, you will not want to relinquish that third spot to Man City. You will not want to relinquish the pride, the stature, and respect that rightfully comes with that. If they overtake us, that puts the cherry on the icing to this new banter era. And that is not acceptable, especially when you've got players 200, 280k a week, a manager 16 million a year. It's not just Arteta's fault, obviously. We're talking about a 20-year period, but Arteta's just seen it over the line. It's not acceptable. And I don't understand how Arsenal fans can look down their nose at winning things. And for his comment about instant coffee, just to conclude this video, football isn't instant coffee. Well, what the fuck kind of coffee is this that we're brewing up? Because it's been nearly 7 fucking years now. So what kind of coffee is this? How long would you give it? How long are you willing to wait for your coffee? You want to give him another 3 years? Is that a true supporter of Arsenal who's looked at the last 6 years and all the failures, and looked at the fact that Man City are about to overtake us and think, well, we'll keep giving this a try? You should be angry. You should be absolutely adamant that things need to change. You can say, cool, you've done a good job getting us competing, but you do actually need to win, and you need to win very soon. And that's all I'm going to say. Big up everyone for locking in. I will be on Rashid's show for the lineup for Newcastle in a few hours' time, 4 p.m. BST. So make sure you look in for that. There's going to be a lot of legends there. So that's level-headed football fan Rashid. You can find him on YouTube. It's going to be a cool show. It's going to be an interesting game. My preview's already dropped, so check that out. I'm going to stop talking about this because it winds me up, and I think I'm going to go to the gym and take out my angst on the iron. Big up everyone. Hope you have a good weekend. I will be back with a match review after God knows what happens against Newcastle. And yeah, so I'll see you then. Cheers.